We're good. Hey, what is going down? Welcome to another episode of the Beyond Sober podcast. Holy bejesus. You guys wouldn't even believe like the amount of tech that's in this room. Thank you to Emily Lane, just straight up buying a house, man. Like straight up giving us a whole podcast studio, girl. Oh my goodness gracious. I never thought. Hey, ding dong bing bong for all you badasses out there. This is our first collaboration.
Yeah, it only took, 2 years.
2 years? Yes. Hey, as a matter of fact, you say 2 years. 2 years ago today
2 years ago
is
today.
when we met in an airport in Nashville, which is super duper crazy. Such a killer love story. And what was crazy, we'll even just start with that.
November 2.
November 2nd. Yes, that is a date today. So it was crazy. You guys, you know me, right? Cody Rain, former alcoholic, liver failure survivor, all that stuff. You also know that I'm the creator of the Beyond Sober program, the best-selling author with the Beyond Sober book. I'm an international thought leader and public speaker. You could only imagine the amount of messages that I get. And I mean, I have to build AI systems to kind of handle the influx of questions and concerns, literal emergencies that people are having. And for me, as someone who's obviously not just survived it, but has helped thousands and thousands of people change their perspectives, ultimately kind of shifting their life's trajectory. Emily was just another message in the inbox. She was just another person that I was like, I think she's nuts. She's nuts. Like
You really thought I was crazy.
Well,
this isn't gonna boast well for the men that probably already think I'm crazy, and the chicks too.
You know what?
Nobody knows
Nobody knows you like I know you. Like you know.
Well, yeah. I mean, and there's been a lot of changes over the years, and I feel like one of my favorite things is letting people believe that they think that they know me.
Whatever. I love that no one actually knows me or so us for that matter. Mm-hmm. Right. So you guys are actually getting kind of an insight to how we communicate. Like this is ADHD on fuego wearing makeup, right? This is.
I mean, I had to put on makeup because of this. Otherwise, I would not be wearing any makeup. I don't even wear makeup to work anymore. I'm just becoming that 40-year-old woman.
I get you, but you're that 40-year-old woman for women.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely a gal's gal. But let's get back to this before we ADHD too hard.
We already went there.
I'm medicated today, so one of us is like.
See, I'm just raw dogging it. I'm always raw dogging it. You guys know that health and fitness is kind of my thing. Like it's so important that since you allotted us this beautiful home, we've built a gym in the spare room just to make sure that we could take care of ourselves, just to make sure that it doesn't matter if the roads are icy, we could still lift, push, pull, all those things and really truly take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
But with that said, one of the things that I've always told her, and for a little while it was it raised this combativeness, and I was like, she's one of the most relentless people I've ever known. And depending on what state of being you're in...
That is true. I am extremely relentless.
Yeah, that could be an insult. And for a little while, you took that. You're like, you thought I was trying to tell...
Well, you weren't saying the word relentless. It felt a little... What was the word that you actually used? Persistent. You kept saying persistent, and it did sound as a negative until I was like, well, I'm just going to tell you that I don't like the way that you say that. In fact, I'm persistent, and it's gotten me everywhere I've been that you aren't.
That's what I'm saying. That is okay. So that's the cycle.
Call me that again in a negative way, and you're like,
relentless.
Oh my gosh,
like
I didn't
you
mean
don't
like
let
that.
up. You don't let up, especially when you're like passionate about something, whether that's your sobriety, that's your mental, physical, spiritual health, energetic health. You're relentless and extremely persistent to the point of injury. Right? Your neck has been giving you crap, man. You got to take a break from yoga, all the things that you love.
For sure.
It's even, wrecking the mood from day to day. And, kind of going back to how relentless and persistent she was and still is. She didn't let up in the inbox. Like, she was just genuinely curious, asking genuine questions that a lot of people have asked me before. But she continued to follow up. She treated the conversation as if we've known each other for a long time, like I was bestie. And now she's, she is my bestie all day, every day.
Yeah.
And it was because of that persistence that I was like, this feels different. This is really interesting. This isn't a typical conversation. if I didn't feel somewhat inclined, if another way of saying it, if what you were saying was a little too generic, I would have just stopped responding. But that persistence, that commitment, that curiosity just sparked something. And then we started talking. And then I realized that we had actually already been talking. You were telling me your day. You were telling me what you were up to, what you weren't doing, how you were feeling, all these things. And I'm like, damn, this is like a real friend. This is like a real person. This isn't someone trying to get something from me. It's someone actually enjoying a conversation with me. And it was something that I hadn't experienced in a long time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess just to back up between you and me a little bit, like, side note with all of this, like, that, I don't know if you want to play all that back, but it didn't sound loving. It didn't sound, like you turned it into loving, but it did sound like you just said ruin the mood, like, it wrecked the mood, is what were your words. Like, there was it sounded sideways, backhanded, complimenty. So I don't know if we want to put that part in there, but I feel like my persistence with what you remember of us meeting is very different than me, because I was just, on the other side of things. So I had seen your videos and I'd seen your content and knew that was obviously what you do for a living and how you approach your program and kind of get people to bite and understand that your view on alcoholism and sobriety is very different than most people. And at that time, I was extremely excited about that. And so in a way, when I was speaking to you via, Messenger on TikTok, which I didn't even know how to use, which was also the funny part, is that I was really utilizing it from a space of just my own, not really giving a shit if you got it or not. And I even said that in the first email. You probably won't even get this, or if you do, I don't know. Like, in my head, I'm going, he's got a bunch of content out. He probably has a robot or some kind of automated system. So I wasn't even sure that I would reach an actual human. And two, I really didn't know how to operate my TikTok stuff. I turned off my notifications because I'm super hypersensitive to visual noise. And I don't want to see anything on my phone that has numbers or something to check. So my mailbox was at 99 plus all the time on TikTok because I didn't have any real friends on there. It was just introductory, like, here, you made a friend. So TikTok just sends you mail. I didn't even know what I was doing. So when I sent it out from this space of, I feel like I do know you and I'm interested in this stuff and this is what you say and this is what you do. And I really just was asking about forgiveness and your program. And you happened to respond back right a day later when I happened to have my app up with it open, so I saw the message drop down. Otherwise, you would have been lost in my translation, and I would have never known that you even responded to me. So that was part of that, I guess what you would call persistence. But again, as you now know me, you know that a lot of my persistence or messages back to you, sharing my day and I process out loud. I process in a way that is very visual and audio or audible to people, but also it's not really giving you a window into my world. It's just telling you what I'm doing next or how I'm getting there. And I think truthfully, the sad part about that's kind of like really and truly, like, it hurts my heart even to say it out loud, is because I was so lonely. Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
That's super rough, babe.
Well, it was. I mean, it was a hard time. Even to hear that, you changed that perspective of persistence. I had to be persistent. I was not heard for a long time. And I still feel unheard in some ways. And that's okay, because that's part of, my family history and my past, and obviously past partners and stuff. So I'm not really referring to you in that regard. I'm just saying I think that's part of why I approach things with that, because no one's going to do it for me and no one has done it for me. I really feel like I've kind of been floundering most of my life. So if I don't ask questions, if I don't do it myself, if I don't ask, if I don't think first, no one's going to do it for me.
I get you.
So that's, for any of you ladies out there that might feel a little, weird for feeling like you have to be apologetic for your persistence or for your like consistency and wanting what you want and trying to get there, don't, because that's just other people's perspective that probably haven't even had to try that hard. And they don't fucking know. They just don't fucking know.
That's facts.
It is facts. I mean, be persistent to get what you want, or be lazy and don't. I mean, I'm sorry, but for me, like, it's a real simple answer, especially for a type A only daughter.
So I apologize if I hurt your feelings.
You totally
did. You're persistent, whether you like it or not. It is a literal defining fact. It is a fact. You are persistent. You own it. With that said,
yes,
so am I.
Oh yeah.
I don't stop.
Yeah, but men are more allowed to be persistent without like a negative connotation behind it. Women being persistent is annoying. Like,
I understand how that comes across.
Right,
yes.
but it's like,
and keep in mind, I know annoying persistence. And
I know.
Keep in mind, you met me when I was in absolute solitude. No one knew where I lived. No one was coming over.
Right.
I was going to the gym. I was creating content, working with people, and meditating. That's it.
Yeah.
In the kitchen.
Yeah.
So I wasn't even used to having conversations like that. Dude. I'm not having conversations. Like, you could text me. I got a message right here. I probably won't respond. I'm not interested. I'm not trying to engage, which is why I say your level of persistence, which is so natural and normal and built from a potential trauma response and necessity, was at first overwhelming to me, because I'm sitting here going like, just another person that won't stop. But there was something different. Yeah. And that's why I was handing it back to you. Going, you didn't say what a majority of persistent people say. Because they're persistent in the wrong areas.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wasn't trying to approach it as an annoying persistence. I really was curious because I tried to get on your website and I was confused about the modules, even though I was kind of reading through some things. I hadn't like purchased the program. I'd been looking at it for like 6 months. I had broken up with somebody, and you know, it was like my first breakup post divorce that kind of led me down even further of a rabbit hole of really wanting to work on my forgiveness of my past. I'm not speaking about that person necessarily.
Right.
In fact, it was like the bridge to a really good place for me, because he was a really nice person and he was a really good partner. We just had too many damn kids and too much shit going on, and it wasn't the right time. It wasn't the right person. And it was the first time I broke up in a healthy way. And that sounds mean probably out loud to anyone that might know the situation, because, you know, we spent good times together, and our kids were friends and all of that kind of stuff. But I needed that to really reflect and go, okay, well, this one was different. And I handled that well. I feel well. I am well. A lot of it was because I had been drinking way, way less. In sobriety practice, some of the time, I think I was definitely lying to myself still. But what I'm trying to get to with that is that was the first time that I really had my own reflection, my own breakup in a healthy way that had me still curious about more moving forward, but also wanting to heal some of that past stuff, because I was still so broken, still so raw, still so upset with some of my choices. You know, some of my past partner's choices, especially my ex-husband. There was a lot of still hanging on there. And when I was looking into all those things with your program and asking those questions, forgiveness was the biggest part, because forgiveness is still probably one of the most difficult conversations that I have with myself. And we can get to that later, because that's a really, I think, a poignant one, not just in sobriety, not just in couples and post-kid relationships, but just in general, because forgiveness not only embodies a letting go, but it also kind of embodies an allowance. And that's where I get really tripped up. So you were actually, one of the things that you responded with me in those very early, you know, weeks and stuff, was your perspective on forgiveness was like mine. And most people don't have that. And I thought, oh, well, okay, I don't even know this person. I love his content. I love his look. He's super hot. He's super cool. He's super funny. I really enjoy how he's thinking. But also this section of because it was like that thing that's like dangling or like pulling at me.
We'll get a little bit into this. This is something that you would like to go deeper on in your own podcast, which you're actively working on. Stay tuned for that. Obviously, if you're digging this, you like the way she's communicating, you want more of her, the woman for women, the girl for girls. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, dude. Y'all. Yeah, I hear it all. And I love it all. And it's intense. She's one of the most intelligent and well-formulated humans on Earth. And what's crazy is we were raised in completely different places on Earth. would never naturally kind of gravitate towards each other.
We would have if we were back in the day, though.
Way back, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
like,
we would have partied crazy.
We would have killed each other and killed ourselves. Like, we would have partied so good, and it would have been so fun, and also just rugged.
I'm also glad we did. We may not have been friends.
Oh, no.
Like, we would have wrecked it real fast.
We 100%.
Like, it would have been good when it was really good, but then it'd been like, damn.
No, it would be bad. I mean, I think, like, on our last day, like, if we know it's coming, you know, like, what's the movie that we love to watch? Leonardo DiCaprio, Don't Look Up.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, if we, like, were sitting at dinner with everyone and we just knew, like, the fucking asteroid, it's coming. Like, let's crack open some tequila. Like, let's go crazy and just get it over with. Like, one raw dog party, like, go out with a bang just knowing, but no, we could never. We'll ruin it. We'll ruin each other. Oh no, it would never. It could never happen, but in theory, we like to kind of joke and think about that.
100%.
Yeah.
So just kind of recapping on forgiveness, the reason it's so important is because there's so many people who have been conditioned or influenced to basically embrace forgiveness, forgive our abusers, forgive those that have done us wrong. I know more people have done me wrong than haven't, and it's so trippy. And one of the things I learned, and I say this because we were raised in completely different circumstances, yet concluded in the exact same ways, which is where that connection actually came from.
Okay.
We didn't create it, it was already there. I don't forgive a single motherfucker. There is absolutely right now because I wanted to zero reason for me to give you. I don't give a shit. I'm never going to forget it. You're welcome. You were able to get that out and do whatever you did and abuse me, betray me, do all the things, literally alter my course of life, and you get to live on easy fucking peasy. I'm never going to forgive you. It is not it's not necessary.
Right.
And the reason for that, and the way that I've embodied that is, dude, I speak on stages in Italy because I resent you. I turn, not you.
Yeah, I know.
I turn your absolute immature, abusing, fucktard ass into a fuel source for me to release one more podcast, write one more book, work with one more person, get on one more flight.
Yes.
It is a powerful fuel source. Now,
for sure,
some people will go, hey, dude, you're full of hate. I'm not. I don't care. I literally don't care. I hang on to the truth, right? There's no emotion attached to it. There's a reality. There's an acceptance.
That's the difference.
It does not alter my day-to-day. Now, that doesn't mean I won't get passionate about it.
No, and it definitely means that I like to say, like, it's like you're an elephant. You don't forget. Well, can I read you something really quick? And maybe for the listeners too. Okay. So I just wanted to chat GBT this really quick because forgiveness is a thing that obviously you and I are really into. It's one of the things that started our conversation. It's something that comes up in active conversation weekly, and it comes up with clients. It comes up with my clients. I do hear them most of the time. So just in case you're wondering, I'm a practitioner of different forms. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a doctor. Neither is he. However, we have lots of little papers and credits and certificates that make us who we are and lots of experience. But forgiveness also comes from like a biblical standpoint and a religious standpoint through lots of different religions, of course, that we embody and look at and talk about all day online and through the people that we know. So ChatGPT says this about forgiveness as like an actual definition. Forgiveness is the conscious, deliberate decision to release feelings of resentment, anger, or vengeance toward a person or a group who has harmed you, regardless of whether they actually deserve it or if they have apologized. It doesn't mean condoning, excusing, or forgetting the offense. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional weight of the hurt. Now, in a spiritual definition, forgiveness is an energetic release, the act of letting go. The act. Action, right? The act of letting go of judgment and returning it to a state of love or peace. In many faiths, forgiveness is seen as divine alignment or soul evolution. And I've checked on frequency of this. If you're a chakra person and forgiveness, there's a lot of that with that too. In a philosophical definition, it's about moral strength and choosing compassion over punishment. And I think that's really interesting.
Well, that's why module 1 of Beyond Sober is acceptance.
Yeah.
I accept you for who you are. I accept you as you are.
Right.
I accept the conditions that sparked the evolution for you to discern who you think you are and act upon that identity. In those specific terms, technically, I have reached a state of forgiveness.
Yes.
As in, I'm not emotionally charged by these things. I wish no harm. I don't want it to happen to them. I don't want them to do it to someone else. I don't want anyone to have to go through those things.
Vengeance and
none of that. There's no emotion through that. I already drank through it. Like, I killed myself. I drank until my heart stopped, liver failed, threw up blood, all the stuff.
Yeah.
So I've already kind of punished myself on their behalf for years and years and years.
Okay.
Not understanding. And then one of the things that happens as you step into a state of personal development or an active ascension is you forgive everybody for everything, everywhere, all at once. It's not like you have to go, I forgive my father. He do it. And mom, dude, that's information. But when you're actually evolving as a person, you understand where those people sit on the scale of their own evolution. There comes compassion and understanding and a deep sense of empathy. You don't feel for them, you feel more for yourself. And in doing so, you kind of release any tension associated with it. This is why when I'm working with people, I'm teaching them that thoughts are just thoughts.
Yeah.
Like, just because you're thinking about it doesn't mean you actually have a problem with it. And just because it's on your mind doesn't mean you actually want it.
Right.
It's a thought. There's no feeling and there's no emotion attached to it other than what we prioritize and attach. So the question is, can you prioritize and attach something in a positive way to a negative experience?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that definitely embodies your version of forgiveness for sure. And I love that. And I think, as far as listeners also, I feel like we are in the state of forgiveness. Is definition bodes from ChatGPT. I think you like to frame it differently, and I like to not use that word. I think that's what it is.
Which word? Forgiveness?
Yeah. Again, it has like this connotation to me that is very, it's honestly, all right. Want to know why I really don't fucking like the word forgiveness?
Yes.
Okay. There's 3 reasons. 1, my mom used to make me forgive her. You should forgive me. Now, this is not shit. This isn't shit talking about my mom. This is my mom and her issues and mine, and they are ours alone. And it's not for judgment in that way. But my mom doesn't want to. I'm sure she just didn't want me to be angry with her. So forced forgiveness was an act to just release herself. It made her feel better quicker. So that's one reason I don't like that, because it started when I was younger and I got pissed off about it. And I thought, who the fuck? You're going to make me say sorry? Yeah. Oh, I'll say sorry, all right.
So you're forcing me to condone your activities.
Right. And you're forcing me to allow the adult to feel better. That's your job to the child.
Right.
So there the lines were twisted. And again, my mom has her own life, her own story, and her own reasons for being the way that she is. And it all makes sense. So that's one reason. 2, it is wrapped up in religion. It is wrapped up in every kind of religion that I've ever studied. I have looked into, taken classes about, studied online. I am no religious expert, but I am an expert in my own right, in my own beliefs. And I can assure you that I think forgiveness wrapped up in religion is barf. It is garbage.
100.
It is rubbish. It is also forced. And it fucking makes people contemplate and do dumb, horrible, awful things repetitively for the rest of their lives based on someone telling them, I'm better than you. I'm higher than you. Read this book. It says this. If you don't do it, you might go to a burning spot in hell. Really? Really? Because I didn't forgive that guy for fucking raping me, or that guy for fucking stealing my fucking life away from me, or, okay.
The worst
that makes sense.
Shit I've ever experienced was forgiven.
Right. And then the 3rd reason is all through AA, all my whole life, all I heard was all about forgiveness. And everyone I knew that was pretty much an AA didn't forgive shit. Didn't forgive themselves, didn't forget the people around them, and if they did, this is even more important. If they did, they were allowing people to treat them like shit. And I, as a child, watched it. And I remember I remember vividly even sitting at the table and hearing some people that I still have in my life that I love very much, and I love their journey, and I love that they have been able to be sober. So this isn't shit talking AA in that way, but hearing them then and hearing them now, I'm 43. Okay. I started going to AA when I was with my mother at 6 years old. That's a big fucking long time. And I can tell you, allowing forgiveness for people to continuously hurt you, for you to go and trauma bond at a table with fucking smokes and talking about it on a Sunday like it's going to fix you, will drive, oh my God, it drove me nuts my whole life. So those are the 3 reasons why I actually don't like the word forgiveness. Letting go is great.
Some of the worst things that have ever happened have been done with the best intent.
Oh, dude, I forgave the dude that first, like, I'll say this. I remember forgiving someone based off religion when I was very young, and I'm not even going to go into this story. And my whole life, I've really, really, really regretted not outing him for what he did. He could have hurt somebody else really, really badly. And maybe he did. And I didn't say anything because I thought, well, if I say something, his dad was a pastor. I could be, I mean, first of all, no, who's going to believe me? I'm like poor podunk me in a city where everyone is married and everyone's parents are, you know, have money and da-da-da-da-da. And that was not my experience. So who am I to even say anything? I better just forgive because his dad is a pastor. And that is the right thing to do. I mean, that's what my mom says. That's what my dad said. Like, and it really hurt me, man. I feel like I really fucking drank about that for a good 15 years. Yeah. Like hard, because it was a really bad experience. And that guy had a drunk for a fucking dad and beat the shit out of him too. They were all fucked. You know what I mean? So like, also that, again, this forgiveness thing is just, ew.
It's rough, man.
Could have hurt someone else too, and this whole time, and I never told anybody. You know what I mean? Like,
you're not obligated to forgive.
Am I supposed to forgive myself for that now because I forgave some guy that didn't deserve it? It's a twisted line of things, and believe me, I've gone through multiple therapists that really don't speak.
We're conditioned to forgive everyone else for being an idiot, but not allowed to forgive ourselves for being ignorant. I didn't know. I literally lacked the knowledge, the capacity, the strength.
That's a really good way to say it.
Dude, I have to forgive you for being absolutely just a blatant form of idiocy. Yeah. You get a pass, but I'm not allowed to forgive myself for not knowing any better. Yeah. I have to take the brunt and the heat. I have to own that. Yeah. I'm like, what? We're not taught to let these things go, right? And so many of the people that I've worked with thousands of people one-on-one. You know, like we've had arguments about how many meetings I have in my babe. I'm in a meeting. Like I got 4 appointments today. That's 4 people that are ready to change their lives, man, or at least try. But one of the main things is people show up and they've never given themselves grace. They were told and conditioned through other unhealthy people that if you feel guilty long enough, some magic will happen. That if you hang on to the shame long enough, and you'll turn into some, diamond down the road.
I bet you every single person that's been an addict of drugs, alcohol, or anything at all is sitting here listening going, no, we do the opposite. Yeah. We fucking get fucked up about it.
Yep. But that's the reality. Yeah. But that's the whole thing.
Yeah. You don't put a diamond under pressure like that.
Right.
And expect it to happen quickly.
Well, speaking of pressure,
it's going to go through some damage before it explodes, and then it becomes a diamond.
Well, we have to feel safe enough. That's the root of all addiction, is safety. We all just want to feel safe. I want to feel like I can get through this thought. I can get through this emotion. I can get through this environment. I can get through that person. I can get through this job. I can get through the government. I can get through the weather. I only drink because I care, and I don't want to. Yeah. It's not that I don't care. I'm tired of caring, dude. Oh my goodness. Well, and then we hang on to that, and one of the easiest light switches is just have a sip. Just the thought of alcohol, just the thought of a pill, your preferred substance, is enough to release dopamine.
Absolutely.
To get you to do the thing. I think that becomes our escapism. We're emotionally addicted. And here's what's crazy when it comes down to emotional addiction. Yeah, keep in mind, the reason I talk about this a little bit more is because I did an 8-hour emotional addiction workshop in Italy at a retreat called Evolve 2025 in Umbria, about an hour and a half outside of Rome.
On top of that, though, just for clarification, when you went and they knew you were a sobriety coach and you obviously had gone through your story and they figured out your back end and what's happening now and all of your 8 years of sobriety and all of that.
I want to say hey to Antonella because she's a super admirer.
What's up, girl? What's up, girl? I hope she's having fun. She's in a 10-day silent retreat. The meditative silence retreat. Oh my God, I'm so jealous. I wish I could. No, but you went to go, obviously they knew all of the things about you, your book and all that, everything revolving around alcohol or drugs and sobriety. And you weren't hired just for that. And so the emotional addiction, I mean, people were drinking wine around him and doing all the things. So it really wasn't that. And
it wasn't about sobriety at all.
No, emotional addiction is, oh my goodness.
It's worse. It is worse. And here's the thing. And this is why,
100%.
Babe, the reason why I'm so passionate about this is because we become emotionally, biologically, biochemically addicted to our own chemicals. Cortisol is probably one of the easiest ones. And if you're listening or watching, I want you to imagine the last heated argument you were in with a friend or your partner. Okay. You've said everything that you needed to say. I swear to God, and you did, and we did, and you go all out. Okay. And then the other person goes all out. And then you meet at this kind of fork in the road where technically the conversation is over. You've made your point. I've made my point. If we stopped, everything would just keep moving. Okay. We don't have to continue, but what is that feeling right there? You're sitting there going, I could do this. I could keep going. And then you start digging. That silence, the who's going to swing next, that specific feeling, that's a chemical addiction. That is your adrenaline. That's your cortisol, dude. Your dopamine, you're getting a hit of dopamine because you're squeezing your muscles. There is so much that's happening there. When we understand the science of emotions,
dude, it's like,
we start to understand drama queens and people that won't shut the fuck up about all the dumb shit. They're literally addicted to the chemical response their brain activates from talking about other people.
Or fighting in general. Just starting a fight. Man, I can't tell you how many people in my whole life that I've watched just get addicted you don't even realize they're doing it. My mom's whole side of the family, it was always so sad because I know they deeply loved each other. And a lot of people out there have, kind of destructive and traumatic families. My mom's is one of them. And oh my God, my aunts especially, they can't help it. People are totally addicted.
100. So totally what is the short-term solution to an emotional addiction?
I mean,
does it feel good? Do you enjoy being angry?
Well, I think that there's people that do. I think that until they realize that they actually don't and that they're just searching for a chemical reaction, they're just searching for a surge. Right. They're just searching for a hit.
Right. So this is what's really interesting. If you go through the pictures of me teaching, there's in almost every single picture is one phrase. And I wiped it off the board because we were talking about it. I wiped it off the board once and then the topic came back up and I put it back on the board. And through 8 hours, right? I kept pointing back to it and I had everybody say it out loud. That's because we're searching for or what is it?
Safety,
just
happiness.
A feeling.
Oh, just a feeling.
It's just a feeling.
Yeah.
That's the interesting part. The only thing we're looking for is a feeling. And we'll cycle back to the beginning of this conversation. I was talking about persistence and relentlessness and being fierce. And the space I was speaking from was empowerment. But you didn't take it that way. And you're like, I don't know if we want to talk about this.
It didn't sound like it.
I know it didn't sound like that. But do you see how it wasn't intended to be malicious in any way? I'm setting up the story to go and she's a boss ass bitch. It's her hang on.
Yeah.
And with that, out of that, what you wanted was a better feeling. It's just a feeling. You feel bad. Or at least it doesn't feel good. That's a feeling. I don't want to feel like that. And based on that, we have a very specific response.
Yeah.
The response. Which is usually
defensiveness.
Right. Because we're trying to reach a specific chemical state, a state of safety or a state of calm.
Yeah.
We're just trying to reach another feeling. I want to feel better about what you just said, which is why I continue to bring it back. It's powerful. It's totally true. And just, there's so many people, every single person is in one way or another addicted to their own biology. And it depends on your environment, babe.
Yeah.
This is why you've grown and we've grown so exponentially just knowing each other.
Yeah.
Is because I'm your biggest fan, dude. Like, I'm here with you. I want to see you grow. I'll fight on your behalf. I'll do whatever you need, you know, or nothing or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I will defend your feelings, right? You're allowed to feel. I would never take that from you. And in doing so, you create or feel safe enough to feel your own feelings.
Yeah.
But it took a while to reach that, especially because both you and I developed very addictive practices for many, many years.
Yeah.
And we never allowed our brain or body to calibrate into a state of homeostasis where it's actually in a state of peace and a state of calm.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, and that's part of I think the journey for anyone that is searching for a cure to emotional addiction, whether that is just to their feelings or an emotional addiction to a substance, is being able to remind yourself that it's going to take a lot of time. There really is no quick switch. If it's a deep, emotionally practiced, long-term addiction, whether it's to the fighting, to the feeling, to the cocaine on the back of the toilet, or the secret drinking in the car, like whatever it is it's going to take time to undo that, because it took a lot of time to build that practice and to build that habit. And it is addictive. You need that for safety. That's the only safety you've got. And so to let go of that, even if you're ready and you know all of the information and what it's going to do for you and how much happier and healthier and financially beneficial, all the things are going to happen, it's still easy to revert back. I mean, you've been sober for 8 years. I've gotten into it with you enough that I go, there he is. There's the old guy. It's not often, but if I know that you're close to that trigger and you're ready to leap over that line, there's flashes of you.
I believe
for sure.
I'm peaceful, not harmless, dude.
Well, and same for me. So that goes into anyone that has practiced emotional entanglement, or again, the chemical drama that we love to soup up and soak up. And of course, you add some substances in that.
Yeah, I think that's really important to talk about, especially from a healthy standpoint and post-addiction kind of space, or post-dependency space.
Yeah.
There are so many things. Like, you and I have argued enough. We've been through the ringer with each other. We both know that we will not stop.
No.
So, and when we say it like that, we go, oh man, I got like a dysfunctional relationship. No,
we're both extremely passionate. We want to be right, and we want to.
We're standing behind everything we say, and we are right in our own realm. With that said, because we know that we won't stop, we have to. There's times these days I'm so thankful that we live here, because I could just stomp away and be all butthurt, and you be right and me not wanting to admit it, and then I'll just come down here and I'll be in the podcast studio and I'll just create content angrily.
Yeah.
I'll just respond to these emails.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go help some humans.
And then go back upstairs. Hey, can I help you with the dishes? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
That's his way of apologizing. Act of service.
I mean, I'm a person.
The thing is like, again, if we were actively emotionally drinking, especially drinking, because that was your favorite choice of a drug and mine, and the one that we practiced the longest, would we have walked away? Would we have angrily come down?
No.
Oh, no. We would have fucking gone.
Wrecked.
Let's go.
Wrecked.
Tear it up, dude. Fucking, I'll take the shit off the walls. Let's go. Yeah, so that's what we were taught. Isn't that fine? And that's what we would have gone up. Yeah, I mean, we've never had to like go to those
that was normal. Like, that was like, if something wasn't broken during an argument, if someone didn't want to kill themselves, if someone wasn't fucking crying, it wasn't even an argument.
Yeah.
What was the point?
What are you bitching about?
Yeah.
This is gonna be way worse.
Look at you all up in your emotions.
Yeah. Oh, stupid ass. Yeah.
Well, that's what you get.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and so for us to walk away, well, that's where I got all high and mighty about like reading about relationship books, because I've read them for years, because I didn't fucking see much of a healthy, my operating system as a child, and watching people's relationships was fucking hilarious, honestly. So it goes to show why I've made the choices that I have, and I've landed where I have. It totally makes sense. But that being said, I just feel like walking away was one of those things that I constantly read in relationship books. And I love John and Julie Gottman so much. And I've been reading their shit hardcore for years. And they wrote a book called Fight Right. And I mean, these are two of the best out there that can literally predict people's divorce. Couples that have been together for 2 seconds and 20 years. I mean, and anything in between and above. They are experts in their field. They have been doing this for decades. They know what the fuck. They have brought relationships, fighting and love and communication and all of the things in between done with science. That's incredible. And if they say they get into it and they say they walk away, that's what we're going to do. We got to circle back though. My big thing with them or with Cody, and he's gotten really used to this. Like we don't have to talk about it anymore, but when we first used to have to kind of separate if we were both passionate about something and we couldn't agree because we were both so upset that we agreed about everything and everything seemed so easy. And we were just like, oh my God, you're like another me, but you're like a man. It was like this, everything is just so wonderful, swell, and perfect until we realized that we're so alike. We're still different in our own ways and we're still going to get into it. But it challenged us. It made us feel like we were sad when we didn't agree because we agreed about everything and everything was so smooth and easy all the time.
Well, it felt like the end of the relationship every time.
It felt because it was like, wait, how are you sure you think like that? Are you sure you believe that? Yeah, I am. Like it really it was hard for us at first to just go, are we okay?
We're actually really good at moving through.
Now we are, but at first it struck us because we were in such an elevated relationship in such a really beautiful state and just falling into this relationship, literally going, you really do finish my sentences. You actually knew what I was thinking. Like just this really connected thing. And then when we didn't connect, it felt really hard. Like it felt like an abrupt stop.
Yeah.
But again, had we not been in a healthier space of practicing at least somewhat removing the emotional entanglement from our fights or our substances or both, it really, really, really was a thing for us to realize that it's okay to disagree and it's okay to walk away. But where I was going with this is we have to circle back within 24 hours to talk about it, to clear it up. Because if let's say we're getting into it and you're like, I fucking don't have anything but shitty things to say. I'm out of here. Like I'm going and I'm like, what the fuck? Like I want to finish this shit. Let's go. And you want to walk away, but I'm feeling like, wait. No, you are the one that started this bullshit. And now you get to walk away. I have to let him. And he has to know the respect in the relationship must be met. He doesn't have to say it then. He doesn't even need to say it in the next 30, 60, 90 minutes. But somewhere before that day ends, he goes, I will clock back to this tomorrow. I will talk to you at 2:00. What do you have going on at 4? What's going on in the morning? Because if we don't circle back to it, it leaves the other one in a state of anxiety and worry going, we just fought. He's not speaking to me. She's not talking to me. Whatever. Are we okay? So that's the big thing. It's okay to walk away, and you should walk away because you don't want to say shit.
I'll apologize a week later after I forgot about it, and something reminds me. I'm like, fuck, she was right.
Yeah, I usually.
Hey, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but what has happened since we started doing that 24-hour practicing? Do you remember the first time we fought about it? And I was like, if you don't come over here and tell me within 24 hours, we are going to clear this up or at least have some resolution. You're fucking done. Like I was so mad at you.
Have fun waiting, dude.
And you were like,
I'm not sure because you're pressing me to do it.
And you did. And you did. You did do it because I said that.
Don't tell me how to apologize.
I said that is not fair to me, and that's not fair to you, and it's not fair to us. And I swear to fuck, if you put my kids through some bullshit because you got a fucking ego about a conversation, and you just stood there and you took it, you didn't say anything, which is really hard for you, especially with gloves off. We're in something that's emotionally and passionate, both of us. You came back and we didn't even talk about it. I didn't even do like, ha ha ha, you came back. I told you and you did what I said. I respected it. I was so appreciative because you showed up. You did what we said. We knew was right when we were calm. I threatened it again while I was upset. You could have taken it any other way because I wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure that you were going to come back to me. I wanted to make sure that that was important to you because if it wasn't, I had to stand behind what I said because I didn't. I didn't stand behind what I said for so long, especially while I was married. I betrayed myself by saying, no, I'm holding this line. And then he would go over the line and I would let it happen because I wanted to choose peace. And really what I was doing was betraying myself because those actions and those things were beyond what I wanted. They weren't what I wanted. I had a line. You don't get to river dance on my fucking line and then act like you didn't. No. You need to circle back and be a real man, be a real person in this relationship and show me that this matters. Because if you are the guy that I think you are, you're going to. And I will love that. But if you aren't, I have to be prepared now to go through with what I said, which is if you don't, it's not an ultimatum. We agreed while we were calm that we were going to do this 24-hour thing. Now that we're heightened, and I'm saying it again, and if you don't do it, I have to be prepared to walk away because I am so happy in my healing process, and I'm so happy believing myself again and trusting myself again without alcohol in my system, without the emotional entanglement with alcohol, without the emotional entanglement to someone that has wronged me so many times now that I mean, really, do I even give a shit? My fucking resentment is so big. My fucking contempt is like, brr. Am I really ready to walk away? And I remember saying it and going, I better pack his fucking bags so fast if he doesn't do this because this one's going to sting. This one's going to hurt. Like, what am I going to do? And just going, oh my gosh, I can't think about it. Just move on. Just move on. Just get busy. Just get busy. And he came back. And that's where, that was a really big moment for me because my marriage and fighting with men prior to that, even fighting with certain men to this day, it is different, and you really I know that was difficult for you.
Still difficult.
It is because you have your own shit too. And I know that I drive you bananas at some time, or most of the time, but...
not most of the time.
No.
You drive you bananas. And I'm like, can we stop eating all these bananas? We're slipping on these fucking things. Like, goodness.
Yeah.
But babe, we've occupied, if you want to call it that, 3 different places. You had your beautiful lake home. I didn't live there, but I was there.
Well, yeah. Well, you kind of got stuck the first time because we knew that you were going to come up for a couple weeks. Then you came up again, and that's when we got hit with like a super bad, ice storm. And then you're like, well, I guess I'll just work here. Like, I'll just plan on like 3 weeks, like maybe. And then it just kind of became longer. But and then we moved you from Nashville. Then I sold that house, and we moved to. Well, you had gotten an apartment, and then we got one too, and then we moved in together. And then we planned on being there for quite some time. Once we started making it like a little home, we didn't make it barely 14 months and we were out. And that was because of where the American economy is right now, just for us personally. And, we wanted to make sure that our money was actually going somewhere that we could have equity, make sure that the future's looking a little brighter. So then we bought the house.
Well, safety.
Yeah.
You've created a sense and a factual safety for all of us, including yourself.
Thanks. I mean, it was a really rough road. And just to any of the listeners that are like kind of thinking like when we're referring to my or our or whatever, let's clear that up really quick. So I owned a house on a lake, in an inland lake with my ex-husband, and we bought it and we redid it. And within 10 months, he wanted a divorce. And we had been through it so many times that I was also like, okay, bud, you do you. Like, I was so checked out of that relationship. And he really was too. We were so bad for each other, but that house became this thing for me because I got to pour my mind into it, and I got to gut it and redo it, and I got to do it in a way that was very personal to me. So it really was like blood, sweat, and tears. Well, that design, creativity.
Supposed to be your forever home.
It was supposed to be our forever home. We fought hard over that home. I mean, rightfully so. It's a badass house still. I mean, I sold it to a really nice dentist, and I pass by it, and my kids still go to school over there, and it's awesome. And I love seeing it. I love seeing that someone else loves it too. That was a hard one to get rid of. That was a hard one to walk away from. Taxes and life and home equity lines with variable rates that I just didn't know about until the divorce. And there was a lot. So then the apartment thing, was really great because then we got to like essentially move in together with the kids. But again, it was a very small confined space. And the girls ended up really loving that, which was really interesting coming from what they had before, which was in most people's lives. I'm not trying to like give myself an ego boost or anything, but like I fucking made it. The house was dope, and it was on a fucking, like, it was gorgeous. And
your $1 million house.
Yeah, growing up with a single mom that whose dad left the state at a very young age, and literally she did anything she could to try to raise me right. And
resistance.
Yeah, and living in a tiny apartment. I mean, my mom did a great job for what she had and all of that, but I mean, giving my kids that and then having to almost take it away, if you will. Well, there was some relapsing through that, wasn't there? That was a fun one.
Dude, this kind of full circles back to years ago when we met.
Yeah.
You didn't identify as a sober person then.
No, I didn't. I really, really wanted to. I really, really wanted to. I tried to get sober for years. Quickly though, let's finish that. And so then back to the house stuff, guys. Then we sold we got rid of the apartment. We broke our lease, and that's because I bought a house, and I did choose to, like we already touched on, go through with what I said. I brought this up early in our relationship before we even really, really met. And it was, if I ever have to sell this house, if I ever have to do this again, if I ever have to like make my kids leave this place because it's astronomically expensive and all the things, I will never, I probably will never put a man on my paperwork again. Mm-hmm. Even if I got married, it would probably mean, and this is for the man's safety too. Like, I've been so fucked by men that don't want to own and love to weave a story, that it's why they're never in the same room to do something like this, because they can't back up what they're saying. Yeah, and if you think it's about you, it is. There's 4 of them that I can think of, and some of them are related. So there's that. I told you right from the beginning, you remember that. Like, mm-hmm. I want love. I wish that I had this like Disney dream. I mean, that's what every like broken child ever wants. And I know it fucking won't exist if I don't trust myself. And that means I'm going to have to do really hard stuff financially and really hard stuff that I didn't want to do. It makes me feel hardened and masculine, and I don't love that. But I have to do this for the safety of my fucking mind, because if anyone's going to take my sobriety from me, it's not going to be through my house. It's not going to be from where my kids live. No one gets a chance to fuck with my life and my children's lives ever again, because at the end of the day, if shit goes sideways, it's still me and my 2 girls. It's the 3 musketeers, period. And you were like, mad respect. I totally get it. But when it came time to looking for the house and realizing that you really weren't going to be a part of it. I mean, you were a part of it, but I was like laying it down. There was hardship there, a little bit of you, I think, kind of wanting to make it more like a, like a wrapped up, here's our little family bow, or I am the man and I can, and me going, you can do whatever you want. I said what I said, and I'm going to do it. And this is it's really fucking important that I do this. And we had, we didn't fight or anything. It wasn't like that. It was just like sadness. It was like heaviness, like a little heartbreak, I think.
There's a little weight there.
Yeah, for sure. And he had to like kind of let me, I think, embody the fact that it really was mine, which I have a hard time with, because I wouldn't be able to be here if it wasn't for him, or wasn't for your actions, your financial help, your emotional help. Like, I mean, you know what I mean? We talked all about that. So the house, really, guys, like, legally, we're probably going to change some paperwork one day. It's fucking not important now, because every minute seems so filled still with little kids and all the things. But yeah, the house is legally mine, and yes, you live here, and that's great, and I love that. But you remember the conversations. There's no reason for me to do this. If I'm going to be a single mom and live with my kids and you weren't here, I would stay at this apartment, because I absolutely have done the single mom taking care of a big ass fucking house by myself. You guys, I don't have siblings. No one came to my rescue. No one was like, let me clean your house for you while you go do shit. Like, it was rugged for years. If my life looked a certain way, and like the behind the scenes, I will never take care of that much ever again, especially when my children were so small. I would have never walked into this house without help.
Yep.
Well,
you were promised help.
Yes, and my now 9-year-old actually held you to that, didn't she? She really gave you some guff because of what had happened in her past. Yeah. And
maybe talk about that. She's pretty damn familiar with men not showing up in the ways that they're claiming. She has standards. She also
Absolutely,
does not want to
should.
see her mom struggle
No.
at all,
No.
ever, for any reason. And she'll stand up for you.
Yeah.
She'll fight for you 100%, as you will her. Mm-hmm. And she was, she gave it to me, dude.
Yeah.
She's like, are you serious? Like, are you leaving? Are you actually going to stay?
What are you going to do? Remember when she was like, what are you going to do?
So are you
what
actually going to mow
there?
the lawn?
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing too. Like I've never given her the space to be that kid because I never wanted her to feel like her mom didn't fucking have it. And she knew that I had it. Like she knew that I could do it all. She knew it. But especially towards the end of that house, I mean, it was really hard. I mean, I have my own pains. I have my own aches. I have my own frailties. I have my own woes, just like any other person. And that's when it really started coming out. It's like, I really can't do this. I am at my max capacity. Like, I can't come up there right now. I'm literally stuck hands deep in a toilet trying to fix shit I don't understand while I'm like cursing every man's name I've ever known. And, she saw what she saw. She saw her dad and his friends and the girlfriend and the trips and the ease of their life. And she wanted to be around me and wanted to be with me all the time. And until the end of like that lake house time, I think it's really when she kind of went, wow, I've really just let my mom have it because she has it. But now I'm understanding that she fucking never really did. She just raw dogged her way through this. Thank God she made it, and so did we. But like, now I'm old enough to realize that this really hurts. My mom is worn down, and I don't like hearing her like this. I don't like seeing her like this. And so when we moved to the apartment, she watched this collapse of me literally, physically collapsing, which you allowed to do, but the space allowed too, because when you have an apartment, you obviously don't have like a bunch of yard work and a bunch of shit and multiple levels. And she loved that. We are going to the pool all the time. We're going to the air zoo. We're going to the zoo. We're going out, and mom's taking rests and naps. And so when the talk about the house came, now she's older, now she's more elevated, and now she's like ready to stand in her own and go, I'm not just doing this in defense of my mom. I'm doing this for me because I'm growing up. Mm-hmm. And if you're not going to, we're not married, right? So that was the other thing. She's like, are you going to show up? Mm-hmm. Are you going to buy the lawnmower too? You're going to make my mom do it.
Yes. Yes.
Are you going to do this? So what about when it snows and we have to go to school and mom drives us to school? Are you going to get out? She hammered him at least 3 times. And I was like in shock. And we even talked about it separately. And remember, I was like, hey, so you're not going to fuck this up, are you? Because I don't know what you guys promised each other.
Yeah.
But she obviously looks very serious about this. Mm. And first of all, I'll murder you if you lie to my kid. And you're like, duh. Like, I love that baby. And I'm not going to, of course, and I'm going to show up for her. But what was great is you agreed to all those things and you did show up and you rose the bar even higher. Mm. And that's when we moved and she got to soften and she got to settle and she got to really watch what you said come true, which is validity that every little kid needs, especially from a man. That's going to go, I really did do what I said I was going to do. So while I was fragile and I got to fall apart and rest and all of that, especially in the beginning stages of the apartment, I got to come here and then I got to be softer and I get to make organizational decisions about the closets while he's outside and power washing and digging and doing and hanging this and doing stuff with the dog stuff. And the things that she saw me do.
Built a shoe rack today, dude.
That's what that's a big shoe.
I don't know where it's gonna go.
I don't know either. I'm sorry. We'll figure it out.
No, but that was the thing is, none of the members of the family have seen me in full force. And even...
Well, yeah, because we didn't live at the lake house together and there was no reason at the apartment.
Yeah, that wasn't going to happen.
It's big.
But see, even when I was there, even with the idea that maybe you could keep it and, we lived together, I had already expressed, I was like, dude, I'll help out everywhere. Like, that's kind of my thing. But then again, I'm an apartment guy. I'm from California, dude. Yeah. There's no money. There's no... You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You don't buy. You have to be buku millionaire type status to even think about a house. Yeah. Oh my goodness. So I had already committed. Gross. What's trippy is, when I got the apartment, I was like, cool, I could die here. And I threw that on your face numerous times because you're stressing out about stuff. I'm like, babe,
Yeah.
Like, what are we talking about? Like, we're good.
Right.
Remember that safety we were talking about? The thing that's most important? We're safe. We're good. But then this opportunity showed up, and there was no real question, but there was pressure. And that pressure, it's good. It's healthy pressure.
Yeah.
And so relating it back to the oldest, she deserves to be considered. Yeah, her room was the first room that I painted. Like, I went in there and I did it wrong the first time, went back, did it again, figured it out, learn, made sure that she, approved of the things and put everything together, make everything kind of a team effort. And it's really powerful. It's pulled us all together in a very powerful, very united front.
Yeah.
All in the same energy,
Yeah. I think it's also cool because she gets to see, you get to learn in real time and do all this stuff to the house and, fix this. And, like the day that we thought we were going to do a million other things and we kind of had like a little date planned. And then we're like, what's that smell? What's that thing? And it was the garbage disposal, which you'd never done before. Tried to learn that, bitch for about an hour. And then we're like, fine. I
understand the trending dad things. Yeah, I fucking hate this house.
Yes.
Like, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it, dude. Day 6 in here, we had a flood, man. Like, holy jeez.
Yeah. God. Yeah, that was a whole thing. But she needed to see that too. And everyone needs to see people, especially older adults in their
kind
lives.
of pulling it back to the Beyond Sober podcast and why everything that we're saying kind of relates to the state of sober and the active commitment to your health and happiness. That is also what the girls get to see every single day.
Yeah.
They are not seeing you with a glass of wine.
Yeah.
They're not seeing you taking a shot. They're not seeing you with White Claws in the fridge. They're not seeing you with the mixers. We don't have a bar set up. We don't have any of that shit.
Dude, like, it was like by the skin of my teeth.
Yeah. But you did it though. And you continue to do it.
I don't think my kids have a memory of me drinking. Like, which is fucking crazy. I mean, I was definitely like drinking around them at times that they didn't know.
They are so in tune with it. We talk about alcohol every day. We talk about substances every day.
Because they're around a lot of alcohol when they're not around me.
Well, that's the difference. Is this specific household is health, happiness, harmony, right? The live, laugh, life kind of thing.
Like, you can do it here. Like, this is the place to do it.
But on the flip side, when you look at the other side, it is you're not going to the gym. Right, you're going to the bar.
Yeah,
right. You're going to. You're surrounding yourself.
They go to bars a lot, and it pisses me the fuck off.
As it should.
Yeah, I remember when my dad did that. I remember my dad taking me to bars occasionally, and I thought it was cool. My dad was cool. My dad was, charismatic, and he, could strike up a conversation with anyone, and so that was cool for me because my mom never took me to those places because my mom was an alcoholic, and that's what she called herself. Even though, there's a lot of drinking on that side and all of that, but I feel like the bar thing, I thought it was cool until it wasn't. And I remember going in and there's just like, the belly up at the bar, like early people with the, they're there Monday through Friday and they know everyone by the first name and that. So I just remember that happening and really getting like checked out by this like disgusting fucking gross man. And just like being kind of like by my dad. I was like 14 and I was so uncomfortable. My dad was more focused on like getting a drink at the bar and I was like, how do you not notice this man like ogling me? And I don't really feel comfortable about standing up for myself. I'm 14. I'm like 4'9". You know what I mean? Like I was just a tiny little thing. And sitting down and watching my dad get drunk and he had a good time and he wasn't an asshole or anything, but I remember being like, gross. Yeah. Fucking gross. Like you could have brought me fucking anywhere. And this is where you brought me. And so yeah, my kids go to the bar and they go to the bar in our hometown that my ex-husband and I grew up in and moved back to. And it is how do I say it?
Nauseating.
I love that I know exactly who the fuck all those people actually are. And I love that they think that they know all about me. And I love that I'll never step a fucking big toe back in their shitty spaces, doing their shitty practicing things and bringing their babies around and acting like it's normal. I think that is just the most fucking lowbrow trash ass thing to do. And they continue to do it and make me look better and better. And I don't even have to do anything. Yeah. Love that.
The worse people make themselves, the more incredible
they stand in the reject corner of schools and,
Yeah. That's a whole nother episode. We'll get into that.
Yeah, they're gonna love that one. Hey, I have to pee.
Yeah. Well,
Can you carry this for a second?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna close out. If
Are
you
we
can hang
gonna
out real
close?
quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've been rocking her for like an hour and a half.
I'm a mom though, you know.
I got you. Give us a second. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today, Emily and I here on the Beyond Sober podcast,
and
man.
Hank too.
Hank the Tank. You can't see him if you're listening, but we got our Schwiener dog. He's hanging out on the podcast couch here. We want to say we appreciate you. We admire you. We thank you. If you're struggling, do not be afraid to reach out. Reach out to Emmy. Reach out to me. BeyondSoberPro.com. BeyondSober.org. Google Beyond Sober Man. I'm literally every hit. Numerous recovery programs, dude. Massive communities. Beyond Sober Nation is over 11,000 people. And if you're looking for kind of public content, if you haven't found me in all the other socials, I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok,
YouTube,
of course.
for sure.
I'm coming up on nearly 1 million dedicated followers across all my socials. So don't be a stranger. Emily, thank you so much for sharing yourself with us today. You're
It's
amazing.
so funny hearing you say my name.
You're welcome. You're so hot.
Oh,
Okay.
you're so hot too.
Do your bladder thing.
Okay. Love
Okay.
you. Thanks,
you.
guys. That was fun. Do. I really have to pee.
All right.
me.
As she rolls,
Okay.
we're going to close out here.
sorry.
You guys are amazing. Thank you. If you've made it this far, the Wiener Dog's head is covered in a blanket and there's a bladder about to explode. You're the best. Just like my mother always says, take care of you.